Hello, Nils. Welcome to our second podcast of AI powered agility, and my great welcome to our audience. And today we have two great topics to talk about. So let's jump in. Nils, how's it going?
Hey, Mehdi, so nice to be part of this second podcast, right? So, yes, I'm doing fine, Mehdi. Thanks for asking. But as I always reply, way too busy. But
Yeah.
this is important, right? There's a lot of stuff that we want to share. So, this is a meaningful time. And yeah, we should carve out time for this. And I'm really looking forward, Mehdi, to also hear about a lot of stuff you want to share in this
Sure.
podcast. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I know that you have prepared some, new findings and learnings that you use in your work, in your business. So, I'm curious, what is your latest finding?
All right. So, and just to for the listeners, of course, we will talk a little bit about my finding, right? But Mehdi, I also know that you've got a very good finding, right? So
Yeah.
I'm also very eager to learn about that. But okay, I'm okay to start with my finding, right?
Yeah, yeah, please.
All right. So now, if you remember in the previous podcast, I talked about that it's so important to just get started, right?
Hmm?
And I just gave an example about a sales call that I had, and I recorded it with consent of the other part with ChatGPT, and it were 3 times 10 minutes, and then it gave me a good summary and a good hints and tips and things about what the customer really found important. So for me, that was a very good use case of applying AI. Now, I want to kind of elaborate a bit on that because that
Uh-huh.
could be my second experience with AI that I want to share with the audience. And next to all kinds of other experience we will talk about in the next podcast. That is about okay, now that sales call went very well, so I was invited to be in their office, and then you have to prepare for that sales call, right? And
Mm.
also here, I found it very interesting how AI can help you with this and prepare much better than I ever could before, which in the end also could turn the probability of being successful in that meeting. Now, by preparing, I'm very busy. Like I also started this podcast, I really don't have so much time, so I really need to scratch my hour here and there. So what I did just before I went into that real event, that real meeting with the client, I recorded a couple of podcasts, or I generated a couple of podcasts, so that I
Mm.
could listen to those in the car while I'm driving towards that meeting. Which one did I
Awesome.
select? Right. So first of all, it's very important that you understand very well what the company is all about that you are going to talk about. Right. So what I
Mm.
did, I went to NotebookLM from Google, who
Yeah.
can generate podcasts for you. And I said, take the website of the customer and generate a podcast for me for about 8 minutes and giving me the highlights about it and some other prompts around it. What are their strengths? What are their could they be looking for? And then create a podcast for me so I could listen to that one in the car while I'm driving over there. So, driving over to that meeting, I could listen for 8 minutes about the highlights of the company, right? That's one
Wow.
thing. Another
Awesome.
thing that is very important that you know the persons you are going to meet with. So the
Yeah.
other part I did, I was speaking to a CEO and a CTO. I went to their LinkedIn profiles, did a very quick PDF download of their profile, and asked NotebookLM again, create me a podcast of 5 to 6 minutes about these persons so I can learn about them while I'm driving over to that meeting and give me some
Awesome.
highlights, also some different prompts that I was interested in, right? So I had another two podcasts created to listen on my way to the customer, right?
Wow. Wow. That's really great,
Yeah.
Niels.
Then I also asked them, okay, now we had, hey, now the customer, the person I'm talking to, and also as input our last call that we had as that went before this meeting. Can you now
Yeah.
also give me some kind of directions how we should probably start a conversation and end a conversation and give me some good advice? Now, also that is very helpful. Create a podcast from it. So I was driving over, listening to what the company was all about, who the persons were that I was going to talk to, and also about some tips and hints about how the conversation could evolve. Now, I must say this was for me, it saved a lot of time. I got very valuable information, and it gave me a lot of confidence in the talk
Mm,
itself. And it went very well,
wow.
by the way.
Wow, wow, loved it, loved it. Maybe a few questions. First of all, you mentioned the first step, you got a PDF export of the profile of those people,
Yeah,
and then you imported them to Notebook LM, and then you asked Notebook LM to create a podcast, right?
yeah.
Is it possible we give Notebook LM the, profile link, their LinkedIn link there, and then Notebook LM creates
I
that
tried
podcast?
it, but I couldn't get it to work. But going to
Ah,
the LinkedIn profile of the person, there is one button you click, create a PDF.
yeah,
It's a feature in LinkedIn. At least
yeah,
I have
I
a
know.
paid feature, so I'm not sure actually if others have a paid feature, but I pay every month for LinkedIn, right? A certain amount, I think about
Yeah.
50 euros or something. So perhaps it's a feature that is only a paid feature, but I could just press create PDF and that's it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. But the
Okay.
website was very easy, right? Just the
Yeah,
URL.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
one more thing, when you create a podcast, is it something like two people talk with each other, or it's just a one person?
It's two persons talking to each other. Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
but also you can influence that a little bit how you want to do it and which voices. But for me, I just keep it to the standard, right? I'm very busy. I don't want to toy around with that. I'm fine with it. Two voices, which I hear more often, and they are doing
yeah.
some job. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe one last question. Um, I think this would be a great, way for product owners, specifically when they want to connect with stakeholders. For example, let's say they have meetings or these things. What type of use cases, based on this experience, you have for product owners?
Yeah. Now it's the same thing, right? I mean, product owners, they have a large group of people to kind of maintain and talk to, right? And one of them is of course the customers themselves, and you go to visit with customers. You may go to with your whole team, bringing them with you, so you can all prepare yourself so much better when you go out there and interview with a customer or meet with a customer, right? And that will give you much more insight for the product you want to build. Yeah.
Mm,
So I like
mm.
that last part, or maybe that you asked me, was the connection towards the product owner. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
But I
So
can
I'm
also
done.
give you one other thing around
Yes.
this, and then I'm really interested about your finding, right? Because
Yeah.
you triggered me a little bit about hey, linking it to the product owner. Huh? Um, One of the things what we also said in that first podcast, it's very important that the product owner of tomorrow knows how to drive these AI tools, how to apply them, right? And that's why we have these series of trainings out there, like AI Essentials for Product Owner. Yeah. And one of the drivers we also say about following the training is that it makes you more relevant in the market, right?
Uh,
The product owner of tomorrow is expected to kind of know his or her AI tools and how to apply them. Now, I also found in that meeting that I was able to talk about AI, and the customer was actually impressed about it. And it
oh.
already made me stand out in the crowd of others. So that also gave me a notion like, yes, we have to do this because, if I wouldn't have known anything about AI, right, and my competitor does and gives all kinds of, good, more efficiencies for them or effectiveness, then they will outshine me. So it also made me realize that yeah, we have to be in this area, otherwise
Yeah,
you,
I agree.
you won't make
Otherwise,
it.
you will look like like a, I don't know, traditional product owner or something like
Yes,
these.
yes, yeah, very good, Mehdi. Yes, yes. All right.
Yeah, yeah, that's good
So, Mehdi,
takeaway. Yeah.
I talk too much, I know. So
No, no,
let
that's
me put
okay.
the lights on you. So
Yeah.
I think you want to talk about vibe coding, right?
Yes, definitely. Let me explain it, guys.
Yeah.
I myself have a background of development, so I have been always asking myself how AI can help us, Scrum teams, to elevate their product development process. And recently, I have heard a specific phrase called vibe coding. In fact, for the first time, a person named Andrej Karpati, he was AI director at Tesla, and of course, he worked with OpenAI as well.
Yeah.
On a tweet, he used this phrase, and it means using your daily, speaking language through prompts and asking your computer to create an application. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, this is the main concept, but you don't want to push yourself a lot. The vibe means it comes from your, intuition. And it is cognitive, and you are in a cozy place and you are calm and you just, hey, I don't know. The idea, could you please create a, landing page for this concept or not? Something like this. And
Yeah.
even they said, hey, you don't even need to touch the keyboard. You can use some AI tools, which is, voice recognition, and you can explain by your voice, and then they recognize and convert it to codes that you want to have. This is the main concept behind vibe coding. And but there are some things that we need, or caveats that we need to consider. For example, although that's a great concept, and it says, oh, hey, you can just by explaining what you want, then the machine will convert it to application.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy and direct.
Oh, I
At
can imagine
least
that. Yeah.
still you should understand the code, because
Yeah.
you will see that it creates something, a piece of code that it's not the thing that you expected. So you need to tune it. If you don't, for example, understand, I don't know, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or something like this, how you want to tune it? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
still you should know what the code is. But the good thing is that you can directly ask the machine to create what you want to see on the screen of your computer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And again, it looks like it's more for developers, what you just described, but how does it fit, let's say, for others listening to this podcast? Like a product
Yep.
owner or what do
Let's
you?
not say for developers. Let's say for development. It means other
Okay.
people with little knowledge of development, they can still jump in and start creating their, application and software. So, from my point of view, as I, uh, investigated a lot to see what it is, how it can help us in Scrum teams specifically, but from my point of view, I don't see it that mature yet. And it
Yeah.
says, eh, for now, you can use it for your personal projects, small projects, for landing pages that are not that critical. But if you want to use it for business, requirements, big projects or software, still it is a little bit, how can I say? You should consider that you cannot still use it with that confidence for that mission.
Yeah.
But we know that technology is evolving rapidly. So today, our perception of VoIP coding is that you can use it for personal projects, but I'm sure in the near future, the coin will turn on to another side, and you will see that you can use it in business, context as well.
Yeah. 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 Nice, Mehdi. So thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exciting.
yeah,
Do you
my
see
pleasure.
it already? Let's say, can you give an example about
Yeah,
really using it in real life, or have
yeah,
you
yeah,
started using
definitely.
it? Or
Yeah, specifically, I think a few days ago, 2 days ago, I had a good conversation with one of my friends who is a senior developer, and he has a lot of experience of development with various languages and these things. And I asked him, hey, his name is Puya. Puya, what do you think of it? And he explained, Mehdi, the main concept of our teamwork is to, convert idea to value. Okay. So the more shorter time frame we have, okay, the more effective we will be, and the more opportunities we will have to do more experiments. Mm.
Yeah.
That was a great perception. And he said for product development, we have a few stages. For example, first, we need a product designer to create a prototype or a sketch, whatever you call it, to convert our ideas from our mind onto something tangible. And then we need to send this input to our front end developer, and the front
Yeah.
end developer will develop that prototype, and then after that we need a back end developer and these things. So in every single step we will have, or we have, not we will have, we have now some
Yeah.
tools that can help us. And he introduced me a few tools. For example, one of them is Cursor. I tried it, and it's mind blowing, I can say.
Yeah.
It is an open source ID that you can use it, and it has built-in UI capability that you can, write down your prompts, and immediately it will convert it to the code that you want. And
Yeah.
after that, you can even deploy it. One more tool that he introduced to me is v0.dev. v0.dev. It's it's really much better than the previous one based on my perception, because I tried both
Hmm.
of them. And it works with Figma, because usually for product design we use Figma tool to create our idea
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
prototype, and it accepts the Figma files, and then it converts it to the code that you need. And I said, hey guys, if in the future we want to create a new project or software, just me and my friend Puyo can do it. We don't need
Yeah.
one product designer. We don't need one, front end developer. So we already, saved the cost of those two developers. It's
Yeah.
a little bit scary, but it's real. Imagine I'm a business owner. I will think of these savings. Why not?
Yeah.
But still, we need one experienced developer to be the
Exactly.
orchestrator of the work and tune the code, connect those pieces together, and finally, we will have a usable product.
Yeah. Very nice, Mehdi. And I guess just a word of caution, I think, in this is that, like you say, we still need the developers, right? We still
Yeah,
need
yeah,
experienced developers, very experienced product owners, right? It's about the art of leveraging AI properly. And I think that that's a very important thing. And yeah, it is already there, but it is now going very fast. I think I hear more and more use cases around me as well in that area,
yeah,
that we have to adapt. Right, this is AI empowered agility. Yeah, this podcast. That's yeah, we have to be agile. We have to kind of be on top of this because it's coming. We have to leverage it. We need to understand it, and we have to apply it. In the right time. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And let's be honest, I think and I believe that we are experiencing a new AI powered Scrum teams,
Yeah.
because one of your main intention is to have more smooth and fluent of product development. Now AIs are here, they
Yeah.
can help us dramatically. Why shouldn't we use them?
Yeah.
And we know one of the Scrum Masters main accountability is to is Scrum team's effectiveness. So there are a lot of initiatives out there that can help us to increase our effectiveness.
Yeah.
We need to increase our awareness of these capabilities of AI, and leverage them and use them in reality. That's it.
Yeah. So one of the things I think is worthwhile exploring, and one of our future podcasts, Mehdi, is about the impact on Scrum. right?
Yeah.
Scrum is very important, right? It gives you rapid feedback, and the shorter the sprints, the more feedback loops, etc. Now, with AI speeding things up, let's say, yeah, giving you the possibility to experiment more, to already give some examples of what you need, may have an impact on the Scrum cycle. So, I would be very interested to at some point also do a deep dive into this and see how AI influences our future sprints. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I think we are done, Nils.
yeah.
Okay. So let's say goodbye to our audience, and we will see them next week for our next episode.